Stampers, it's Kim Vogel with the Basement Bunch Stampers, and I'm here for another Tuesday video. And today I want to share with you a cute card that I made using the sweet little something stamp set that is in our Occasions catalog. It's great for baby or for Easter. I love it. And what I want to show you today is how I created this card using our new Stamparatus. And you're probably saying, what is that? But our Stamparatus is a new product coming out in our annual catalog that will begin in June, and it's designed for perfect alignment of stamping when you're doing double time and triple time stamping, which is what I did on this card. And so I'm really going to be focusing my video today on how to use the Stamparatus. And some of us were able to get one during a reservation window that Stampin' Up! Allowed us to get them during the months of February and March. And if you did not get yours during that time, you only have to wait until June 1st to be able to order yours. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did the stamping on this cute little bunny using the Stamparatus. Now the Stamparatus, again, will be in our our new annual catalog, and it will sell for $49.99 in the United States. And our Stamparatus looks similar to this right here. Well, looks like this, I should say. It is double hinged, so you have a plate on the side as well as up here on the top. And what I want to share with you is how you can get perfectly aligned stamping by using this awesome Stamparatus. Okay, so I'm going to actually pull this in here and show you some of the features of this. Excuse me. The Stamparatus comes with 2 magnets, and yes, I already broke one of my magnets, so do not put them together because you will break them when you tear them apart. If you do stick them together, because they're a very strong magnet, slide them apart. Do not try to pull them apart. The other thing that I did is I added a piece of washi tape on this because when you put these directly onto your Stamparatus, they are very strong, very hard to get up, and that piece of washi tape allows me to pull that up a little bit easier. Now, if you're stamping with a clear stamp that has the red foam on it, the red rubber, you will not need to use this little mat. You will be able to use right here on this grid surface. However, the stamp set that I'm using is photopolymer, so I do need this little mat to be able to have that lift up a little bit. I will tell you that we have some grid paper that will be coming out in our annual catalog to put on top of this to help with placement of your paper. So I can't wait to have that in my possession as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I stamped this bunny and how you can get perfect placement. Now I'm going to stamp it onto a regular piece of Whisper white cardstock, and then we can cut it out with the framelit, the Layering Ovals framelit after we're done. So you're going to position your cardstock where you would like it, and you're going to then hold it down with these magnets. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick these magnets on here like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first, so this is a 3-step stamp, and I have all of the steps, or all the stamps out already. So this is a solid one right here. That's going to be stamped with your lightest color, and I actually wrote that right on here so my customers can see that when they are stamping. The second one is going to be your, what I call your medium color. And the third one here is going to be what is your darkest color. So the 3 colors that I used today to make my bear, for my light one, I used Crumb Cake. For my medium, I'm going to use Soft Suede. And for my dark, I'm going to be using Early Espresso. So what you're going to do, you're going to start out with the most solid image, and you're just going to place it where you want it onto your cardstock. And so I am going to move this up a little bit, make sure you can all see it. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to be using my top hinge. Now the other thing I want to tell you is when you store this, do not try to fold both of these down on top of each other. You need to take one of these off. You will break your hinging. So I'm going to go ahead and place my little bear where I want it, my bunny. And I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to stick that stamp to the top of that hinged plate. And then I put this piece of back on there a little better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Crumb Cake, and I am going to ink this up really, really good with my Crumb Cake. And I apologize for any of the shaking that you see there. Let me make sure I get my magnets in place really good. And then you're going to just bring this down, pull it back up, and you're going to stamp this image onto the Whisper White like so. Just applying a little bit of pressure here. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this up. Didn't stamp the greatest, but you want to know what the awesome part of that is? Watch this. So I am going to ink this up again, and I'm going to bring it back down. And because of my placement, it's in the perfect spot, and I can do this over again, and it can provide the coverage where it didn't provide it before. Now I'm going to call that, for the purposes of showing you how to use the Stamparatus, I'm going to consider that to be good enough. And then our next one that we're going to use is the one that has the medium coverage. And I'm just going to lay this right on top of where I want this to be. This time I'm going to bring over the side plate, and I'm going to push this down, and I'm going to bring up this stamp. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this stamp with the soft suede. You can kind of see how awesome this is. So once you have the placement of these bunnies, you don't need to mess with it again. You can stamp as many of these cards as you would like, because your placement is right where you want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push this down really good. Pick that up. Look at how awesome. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the top plate, okay, and I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to put it back on here, and I'm going to use the opposite side of this top plate for my third bunny part. And again, I'm going to put him where I want him and line it up really good. I'm going to pull this top one down. So this one has the solid one that I used the very first step, and so there's my bunny. And then what I'm going to do on that third one is I'm going to stamp him with the Early Espresso, which is my third and final one. And then I'm going to slide this down so you can all see. And I'm going to stamp my final bunny here. And look at how beautiful that turned out. Now the awesome thing is, because I had the placement of all of these where I need them, I can simply remove this. I would just pull these up a little bit, put another piece of cardstock right in its same place, push it back up, and you can stamp as many of those bunnies as you want without having to try to estimate and guess where it's going to be. It's going to have perfect placement each and every time. Isn't that awesome? So this Stamparatus is really great for many different ways. If you don't stamp the best the first time, you can, add more ink and stamp it back down a second time. And for duplicating the same card over and over again, it's phenomenal. So again, I hope you consider adding that Stamparatus to your stamping collection come June 1st when our new catalog goes live. So from there, what I did in advance is I cut out, let me bring my sample card back in. I cut out a piece of Whisper white cardstock. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So this card is an open from the top kind of card, not from the side. And then I cut a piece of the I paired some of our celebration paper, the Bubbles and Fizz paper, with the Night of Navy cardstock. This is cut 4 by 4. This is cut 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm just going to adhere this piece of Designer Series paper onto my piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to adhere this onto my card here at the top. And then from there, I cut out a layering oval, the scalloped layering oval to go with the white one that I stamped with the bunnies on it. Let me peel off those backings here. And then what I did is I also used a piece of the celebration ribbon and made a cute little bow to add to my bunny. And there you have it, a cute little Easter card made using the Stamparatus. If you have more questions about the Stamparatus, please let me know. I've only had a chance to play with it a little bit, but I can see where it would totally benefit anybody who struggles with stamping and lining things up. It's phenomenal. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my video today, and make sure you check out my website at kimsbasementbunch.com and that you join my mailing list so that you receive all of my tutorials that I give out free on Fridays. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a great day. Bye.